completed, I see VM1 is currently executing here on ESX1, and there's that console again. It didn't show up fast enough for me to prove it to you. But this virtual machine has not powered off. If I ran a ping packet against it, I might lose a single ping packet. And so the clients that are connecting into this VM are really not going to see any period of outage for that VM as it moves from one place to the other. I'm now executing on ESX1. So this is fairly exciting in terms of, well, I could move these VMs around. This gets much more exciting, however, when I start thinking about the mathematical models and the monitoring that I will put over the top to ensure that the VMs balance themselves appropriately and have failover capabilities. And all of that we'll talk about when we start talking about clusters. Now there is one more setting here that we do want to take a quick look at here for these virtual machines, and that setting has to do back in here with the hard disks. Now remember when we were looking at these hard disks and we were taking a look at the different types of user-defined profiles that we can set for the potential disk capacities that are out there. These are those VM storage profiles that are available. Now, I can assign user-defined storage profiles, and I believe I already did once, to this whole system here. I can also have, based off the integrations that I have with the right storage, have my storage identify what its potential characteristics are. Once I have those baked into this system, then I can assign them to each virtual machine so that I know that high-priority virtual machines get access to high-performing disk stuff. Now, one of the ways that I do that is I take a look here at, under Inventory, and I want to go down here under Management and VM Storage Profiles. The very first thing you'll want to do if you have not turned it on is to click to enable VM storage profiles here for the different hosts in your cluster. Completing that process should take just a minute or two. I've already done it here. It's really nothing exciting to look at. Once you've done that, then the next step is to actually create a VM storage profile. So what are these things? My VM storage profile. Right? And I can name a description here. The profile identifies what different possible capabilities are available for that profile. Now, I've already created one capability. That was the awesome capability that I defined earlier. Now, you won't probably call yours awesome, but what you will do is identify different capabilities that different types of storage may have. It's a SAS storage, it's high-speed storage, it's redundant storage, it's replicated storage, all these different things that are possible that you can then aggregate together to create a VM storage profile. So I've just created one here. Here's the VM storage profile that I have. Here's some summary information about it. You'll notice that I can then, once I've created the profile, identify which virtual machines I want to tag with that profile. Okay, do I want to check to see if they're compliant with that? Okay, do I want to ensure that those virtual machines have the capabilities that I want them to have? Now, the capabilities up here can be defined both in the user-defined standpoint. Here's the awesome one that we created before. I can add an additional ones here by clicking Add. Or, as I said before, the storage itself can assert what capabilities it may have. The ultimate goal with these profiles is for you to ultimately tag the virtual machines that you're creating with the profiles that you want them to support. Here I am back with the VM again. Here's VM1, it's running on ESX1. Let me go back here and choose VM storage profile. If I choose Manage Profiles here, you'll see that I can now select the storage profile that I want and propagate that to the disks that are associated with this VM. In the end, what this allows me to do is to ensure that I'm meeting the type, or I'm compliant with the types of features that I need for this virtual machine to do whatever it needs to do. Now, all of this takes us back to, well, how do we administer and migrate our virtual machines in vApps? Doing all of these things with vApps, kind of the same thing as working with virtual machines. You can migrate vApps just like you would a virtual machine, and that's really why you would create a vApp. In this nugget, we talked about what are the files that are associated with virtual machines, and then also some of the requirements for vMotion, storage vMotion. And then we spent a really good amount of time talking about really the administration tasks associated with virtual machines, and then also the migration tasks associated with virtual machines. you now are fully aware of the things that you need to do to manage those virtual machines and be successful with them. At this point, now we're going to start working with collections of virtual machines and then how we manage multiple virtual machines on top of multiple hosts.